middle of the week and having New Year's in the middle of a week, it disrupts my business because the day before Christmas, Christmas Eve, not a lot of work. Like, my labor, I have a major labor shortage. Day after Christmas, I got a major labor shortage. Plus, I have guys wanting to take vacation in there. And the biggest thing is we moved our offices.
Yeah, it did kind of fall on a screwed up day.
And New Year's, too.
Well, we had customers, they don't even want to do roofing. They're
Right.
like, yeah, it's Christmas. We don't want to do roofing.
Right.
See, all my customers, they realize I got family coming in town. My garbage disposal doesn't work.
Oh, man.
I got to do something about that. And then they want it done immediately. And I've got 75 service calls on the board.
Wait. I was one of those. Remember? So I call Ryan on Saturday. I'm having this big party at my house this next weekend. I'm like, hey, last time I had a lot of people, my sewage thing backed up. Do you think I should get pumped out? And Ryan's like, well, we only have 150 jobs booked this week. Thanks for calling me.
Well, it's in my business, it seems like most of my competitors turn their phones off around the holidays.
Right.
And so, I mean, we're one of the only companies in town that actually provide a legitimate 365 service. So we did our best, but, I mean, we needed a lot more manpower.
So that's something I want to pick up in a little later in the show, guys. And I know we're kind of getting a fast start here on the first New Year's show, first show of 2019. But I want to talk about the holiday schedule. How does it affect you guys? Ryan was just talking about the issues he has with shortened labor. Doug, I'm sure you have the same thing. A lot of business owners do. I'm going to save this for later in the show, but imagine if you're a banker. I'm going to throw this out there. All right. Everybody knows you got Christmas and New Year's Day off, right?
Right.
But what about the eves? What about the day before? All right. And you think this year was bad with it being on Tuesday.
Right.
All the question mark of everybody leaving early on Friday and then on Monday what to do. Imagine next year.
Yeah.
Next year, they're being on Wednesday. What's that going to do to business?
It's awful. It's awful.
Good and bad. So in the third segment, we're going to talk about the good and bads of the holiday schedule and why it should be a 5-day Christmas vacation every single year. But before that, guys, good morning. Good morning from the Business Happy Hour. As you guys know, if you've been listening to us for the last few years, you know exactly who we are and what we do. I'm Frank Coto. I'm the host of the show. I'm the owner of Lincoln Lending Group and 813 Mortgage here, and I'm joined every Wednesday with my two good friends and business partners and co-hosts, Ryan Pelky, owner of TampaBay Plumbers, TampaBay Plumbers. Sorry, Ryan. I do that at least once a quarter. Maybe once a show. And Doug, the owner of Suncoast Roofers. No, I'm kidding. Suncoast Roofing Solutions. They actually, the funny joke about that is those two companies exist that I just said right there, and they're the worst ever. The worst. But anyway, Doug of Suncoast Roofing Solutions, 888-888-ROOF, and Ryan, 813 Plumber. He's the guy who got me my 813 mortgage number. We are three successful business owners who we take time out of our very busy week every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to come live to you guys on the air right now to talk about stories of business and entrepreneurship. Most shows we're going to introduce you guys to a self-made businessman. Many will be multimillionaires. Maybe one day we might even have a billionaire on the show. We're going to give you guys advice that you can take back home and use in your business and your personal life. Every show, in the last segment, we're going to have you guys a business tip of the week. All right, we're going to come up with scenarios of both success and failures, things that we have personally been through. We're going to encourage you to listen, to ask questions, and contribute to the show. And if you have a business tip for someone, if you have something that's happened in your business life that you'd like to share with us, feel free to give us a call. Matter of fact, if you're listening right now and you want to chime in during the show, you can call us at 877-897-TALK. That's 877-897-TALK. If you want to be a guest on the show or know somebody who you think would be a good guest, feel free to email us at bhhiheart. That's bhhiheart@gmail.com. That stands for Business Happy Hour iHeart at gmail.com. So now, without further ado, our opening monologue. New Year's is upon us. Did you guys wake up on Christmas morning with a bright, shiny new gift that you're planning on using New Year's Day? Did you make a resolution that you intend to keep and change your life forever? Did you take the time to reflect on last year's resolutions that you made? Did you keep the resolutions? Did you even think about them? For many of us, the new year is the time that we make personal promises to ourselves, and unfortunately, most of us don't keep them. Last Christmas, I woke up to a beautiful elliptical machine sitting right next to the tree. And I sat back on this New Year's Day, and I reflected on last year, and I realized I've spent more time reflecting on last year than I have on the elliptical machine. True story. Doug asked me on the way here, how many times? 3 times. 3 times. So 300 and I did good. 362 days of the year I did not use.
You reflected on it.
I reflected. I'm a very good reflector. So the good news is,
where is that thing?
It's in my bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually a clothes hanger.
I was saying, probably his clothes hung all over it.
I was going to say, I've never seen this.
The funny thing is my kids use it more than me. But anyway, so the good news is I didn't have to buy an additional pillow for my Santa Claus costume this year. Everything worked out good, saved a couple bucks. But what makes some people keep the resolutions and what makes others not even try? Why didn't I try? Are you making promises to change your habits? Are you just making a resolution? Do you have a plan with your resolution? Or are you just saying something out loud that you want to do? New Year's resolutions are not just for your personal life. They're also for your business life, especially if you're a business owner. Have you ever thought about making resolutions for your business at the same time that you're doing it for your personal life? The New Year's is the absolute best time, in my opinion, to make major changes in your business. Everyone is already in the mindset of making changes, so why not ride that wave, ride it right into the new year with some changes that'll help your business grow and become more productive. On today's show, we're going to focus on what the New Year's means to business owners. If there are any things that you have been meaning to do in your business, changes that you've been procrastinating about, I want you to sit back, get out a paper and a pen, and start taking some notes. Don't sit down and write down what we're saying. Instead, think about your own business and how you can apply this knowledge to you. It's time to make some positive changes in your business. It's time to get refocused. 2019 is here, and it is time to make some money. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
So let's start the show with a little bit of personal resolution. I want to go around and let's all talk about what we have or haven't resoluted.
You know, it's funny because my business and personal resolutions are they coincide with each other. You know, they apply to both situations.
So what'd you do?
So when I look at New Year's resolutions, I look at it like an opportunity to reset.
Yep.
You know, I think a resolution is it's not something that most of the time, it's not a brand new thing. You know, it's something that we've been trying to do or implement for many years, especially as you get older. You know, many of the same resolutions come up every year. So it's like working out, for instance.
Yeah, wait till you hear mine.
But, you know, I think one of the biggest things I'm going to try to do this year, and I always try to do it, is to try to make all my interactions with everyone positive. So, like, no matter what type of interaction it is, whether it's an employee interaction, whether it's an interaction with the guy at a convenience store, whether I'm checking out at Publix, or it's an interaction with my wife or my kids, try to make it a positive interaction. And I think that by itself goes a long way. And I always strive to do that. But in reality, it's impossible. But I mean, if you think about that, you know, that really leads to a happier life. You know,
there's a lot of
more
research
productive,
that shows
happier life.
A lot of research shows that positivity is the root of success.
Exactly, it is. And having a positive, get her done, let's solve this problem type of an attitude is going to get you a lot farther in life. And if you treat people with respect, you command respect.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize when you surround yourself with people that are negative, or you watch
brings
things
you down.
Or you watch things that are negatives, like the news, or you watch,
CNN.
Literally, and I stopped doing that for that very reason, because when you're surrounded by negativity, nothing but negative things happen to you.
Exactly.
It's a very good lesson.
I got a couple more on here that I can share with you guys. Avoiding confrontation. Okay, so
avoiding
confrontation.
So that means welcome confrontation?
Yes, it makes basically. I wrote it that way because it's common for us to kind of avoid confrontation, right?
Okay.
And I'm not saying confront everything that you come across throughout the day.
So I have something very similar to that, where it's give yourself like 3 to 5 hours once you have confrontation in front of you to not resolve it right away, but to go back to it, because a lot of times, you know, with me, I'll have a bad email and immediately I'm fired up and I write them a bad email back and I look 2 hours later, I'm like, why did I say that? So I think that, you know, by, you know, just looking inwards and basically then figure out what you're going to say, and then a couple hours later, then head on.
That kind of lends to the end of my this resolution, if you will, is avoiding confrontation. However, approach confrontation productively with a calm demeanor. Okay, so you don't want to come out like a volcano, you know.
Even though it feels really good.
Sometimes it does. I think but the biggest thing is if you don't have the confrontation along the way, then you build up. You get all of that anger, and that builds up inside of you. And when you finally do confront it, it is the volcano, you know. So that's the idea with that one.
All right. So Ryan's sharing some of his New Year's resolutions with you guys. When we get back, Ryan's gonna finish up, and then Doug's gonna tell us a little bit about some of his resolutions, and then I'm gonna talk to you about mine. Then we're gonna go into business resolutions, guys. You're listening to the Business Happy Hour on 1250 WHNZ live on the first radio show of the new year, and you also might be listening to us on 970 right now. If so, it's my 40th birthday. If you're listening right now on Sunday morning. So call and wish me a happy birthday. Just kidding. It's 5 in the morning. I don't want you to do that. Have a great day. We'll be back in a minute. In a great, what is it, January 2nd? Is that what it is today?
Yeah.
January 2nd. Second day of the new year, first day on air in 2019. Of course, if it's Sunday morning, you're listening to us bright and early, then it's a few days in there. And it's my birthday. Don't forget, send presents to the iHeart Studio on Gandy. Let's see,
on Ryan.
4002 West Gandy Boulevard. I am a big Scotch supporter. I support all brands of Scotch, especially 15 years and older. Just kidding. Serious, not serious. So, guys, it's a New Year's Eve show. Not New Year's Eve, New Year's Day show. And we're talking about our resolutions. In the previous segment, we're talking about how does the New Year's resolution that you do personally also affect you in the business world. Ryan, we're taking turns going around here, and Ryan was telling us about his resolutions. And actually, Ryan, I think that the one that you just said was positive attitude. You were saying,
So basically, if you look at all your interactions throughout the course of the day, try to make them all positive.
Right.
So all interactions,
so
right
like
down to
that.
the clerk at the gas station.
That's a good resolution because that resolution you can apply anywhere you are at all times.
Yes, and it's actually you become a happier person if you do it.
Absolutely. Look at me. Look how happy I am.
So, most of my resolutions apply to business and personal.
Okay.
So my next one is live within means. Okay. Spend much less than you make if you can.
Hold on. All Americans, stop what you're doing and listen to this.
Spend less than you make if you can, and save the rest.
You mean you should live on credit?
Simple.
What do you mean? We don't get credit cards?
No, you don't want to live on credit?
What do you mean?
It's very simple. It's a very simple concept. Spend less money than you make,
Man.
right, and save the rest. Now, it's unfortunate that most of Americans don't do that.
Visa and MasterCard are going to be knocking on your door tonight.
I think the biggest thing is just people, I create a budget, and
Right.
I don't want to say you have to live, perfectly through it, but if you figure out what you make and you look at your expenses, you make sure you have to cut some to kind of meet that obligation. But I mean, that's a big thing. People have no idea what they're making and what they're spending.
Yep.
There's, and I don't want to deviate to this, but there's actually a method to pay off your house mortgage, a 30-year mortgage in less than 10 years if you're a budgeted person and you focus. I'll save that for a whole nother show, but if you actually know how to budget, there's so many things you can do. Number
Just
one,
making multiple payments a month, right?
yeah, it's basically in a gist is you'd put your house on an equity line instead of a 30-year fixed mortgage, and let's say you make $10,000 a month every month, and your bills are $7,000 or $8,000 a month, right? Well, instead of taking that $10,000, putting it in your checking account, and then paying all your bills and paying your mortgage on a regular amortization, you take every penny you make at the beginning, day one on your payday, beginning of the month, put it against the equity line. So you've taken, let's say, that $100,000 equity line, you dropped it to 90. Interest is paid on a daily basis, not on a monthly or annualized basis on these things. So now you're paying less interest. And then at the end of the month, you spend your bills out of the equity line. That's your checking account.
See, how can you? I thought, don't they charge you per item though on those equity line transactions?
Some of them will. They'll do a limit 20 transactions. Some of them don't.
Right.
So
You got to find one that doesn't. Obviously.
So the idea then
You're gonna
is
use it like a checking account.
like a checking account. Throughout the month, you spend the money you have to because you don't spend everything on day one, right?
So you're
Throughout
allowed
the
to.
month.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So at the end of the month, now that $100,000 equity line or $200,000 or whatever has a balance now of like 97.
Right.
And then the next month, it starts at 87, builds itself back up. Now it's at 94. You follow where I'm going with this?
Right. So your daily interest is less.
Your daily interest is less. You're knocking down the principal because you're leaving your quote-unquote savings, the thing Doug was just talking about where a lot of people don't save,
Right.
which should be a resolution for everybody. Now you're knocking down the balance. Eventually, you get to the point where you've paid it off, okay, and that's your savings in there. So if you want to take it out at that point and put it somewhere, fine, but now you have a paid-off mortgage.
Yeah, that's
Think about that.
That's important. I want to really be debt free personally. Right now that's all I have is my mortgage. But
it's a great goal.
It's a great goal. I use credit cards, but I use them just for the cash back rewards. So I think that we're going to continue to do that.
That's a good thing too. Doug got me into that actually, doing the rewards. That's a good way to budget. Just side note on your resolution is if you use the credit cards to put all your bills on, then you get a grasp on what your actual revolving bills are per month.
Yeah.
And then you collect points and make one check.
As long as you're paying it off at the end of the month completely, then you don't pay any interest.
That's the key.
So I get quite a bit of money back on the 2%. I have two credit cards. One's a Costco card.
Yeah, I got one.
So I
of
get
those.
the 4% with Costco because you get two if you're an executive member, plus you get two if you have the credit card.
Right.
So you get 4% off all your purchases at Costco, which is already pretty cheap anyway.
That's pretty good.
I really hate shopping, but I like shopping at Costco because I feel like I'm saving money.
Yeah, except you're spending 3 times as much.
It's like, God, I saved so much money, but wait, I just spent $1,000 on meat.
on meat.
On meat.
Crab legs and wine.
Yeah, I did buy 10 pounds of king crab the last time I was there.
Tried to yesterday. They were closed. I really did. So what other resolution do you have?
Focus on physical and mental health. Take time out for yourself. Okay, so whether it's playing a round of golf a week, going to the gym every day, stretching in the mornings, whatever your routine is going to need to be, make sure that you take some time out for yourself every day. And I think that's not just going to be good for you physically, but it's going to be good for you mentally as well. Meditation. I've heard. I'm not.
You do that.
I meditate every day.
Yeah, you said there's good things in meditation.
Yeah, I mean you're going within, so you're taking you're breathing properly and you're relaxing your mind, and your mind actually can focus more on what you're trying to do.
Now, do you meditate for business?
I've never tried meditating
There's
before.
Different types
personally.
of meditations you can do. Like the app that I use if you want to focus, you can focus on certain types of things when you meditate.
Okay. So like you have a decision or a problem in the company, and you'll literally meditate and think about it.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you do that for?
Usually 10 to 15 minutes a day.
Okay.
And I usually do it in the mornings. Some people say do it in the mornings or do it at night.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done the where you lay in bed and then you do like the sleep meditation. And you'll play that, and it's like a talk down thing.
Yeah.
And which I'll get into my resolution in a minute. But changing sleep is a big thing.
Yes.
Right. So, we got 1 minute left. What else do you have?
My last one is just to try not to get too focused on work and lose sight of your family and personal life. I have a tendency to do that. I'm a very hard worker, and I drive, and sometimes I lose track of other things that are important.
Very, very true. We all do that, especially if you're a business owner. Ryan, I got to say, you have a very ambitious resolution list right there. I would start with the positive one.
Yeah.
And then the rest will follow, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and if not, meditate about it. Guys, you're listening to the Business Happy Hour here on 1250 Live. Don't forget, if you want to call in, please do. We'd love to have you on the show. You can also email us, bhhiheart@gmail.com, if you'd like to be on the show. We'll be back in just a minute with Doug and I's resolutions, and then we're going into the business tip of the week at the end of the show. It's a good one, so stay tuned for segment 4 on the Business Happy Hour.
With a New Year's cash solution. Listen for your chance to win $1,000 16 times a day, every weekday, starting Monday on 1250 WHNZ.
I'm Jessica Ettinger, CNBC. Stocks have really made a comeback this morning. Earlier, all major indexes were lower. The Dow is down around 400 points, but the Dow is now higher. It is up 17 points. The Nasdaq is higher by 27 points. It had been down about 100 points earlier. And the S&P has turned around. It's now up for 5 points now. Day 12 of the government shutdown in less than 4 hours from now. A bipartisan meeting is set to be held at the White House to try to figure something out, get people paid again. Tesla shares have tumbled 9% this morning after it revealed it missed a Wall Street vehicle delivery estimate for the fourth quarter. More people moved into Texas than out, according to U-Haul, which analyzes migration trends in the U.S. Texas was the #1 growth state for the third straight year, followed by Florida, South Carolina, Utah, and Idaho. CNBC.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you. Printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
Together, we can turn a stairwell into an ER at a moment's notice. Together, we can turn a rescue ship for refugees into a maternity ward. Together, we can vaccinate 710,000 people in just 11 days. Together, we are Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders goes where others don't to provide life-saving medical care. Learn more at doctorswithoutborders.org.
From the Florida Central Credit Union Free Checking Traffic Center.
A crash blocks the northbound Sunshine Skyway Bridge. All the northbound traffic is blocked and diverted at the north rest area. Also have an overturned vehicle with lane blockage on US 19. It's between State Road 580 and Curlew. And there's an accident westbound on Dr. King at US 301. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Nederwick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line at 866-545-9595.
This report is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is with you every step of the way to provide a seamless mortgage experience. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states, equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
Hey, it's Todd Schnitt live 3 to 6 on 1250 WHNZ.
Are you a marketer or a business owner wanting to get insights from national CMOs and marketing executives? Then don't miss the CMO Suite every Monday morning at 11 on iHeartRadio's 1250 Wins and online at thecmosuite.com.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, rely on Rude.
Your Tampa Bay forecast, partly cloudy and warm for the rest of Wednesday with no rain in the forecast, high of 81. Overnight, patchy fog develops into the morning hours, low of 67. Another warm day on Thursday with a high of 81 again. For news, weather, and traffic anytime, tune to News Radio 970 WFLA.
This report is sponsored by P3 Portable Protein Packs, the more interesting way to get your protein. You're almost through the day. Make it to the finish line with P3 Portable Protein Pack. With meat, cheese, and nuts, it's high in protein and perfect for on the go. Grab the more interesting way to get your protein with P3.
You're listening to the Business Happy Hour with Frank Coto, Ryan Pelky, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
Hey, guys, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Frank Coto, in studio with Ryan Pelky and Doug Ford. We're talking about our New Year's resolutions. Ryan just went down a very ambitious list of
Sorry it took so long, guys. I just have a lot of things to resolve.
He does. I told him to focus on the positivity, and the rest will follow. But we're going to go take a little time here, and Doug's going to tell us about his resolutions, and then I'll tell you about mine, and then we're going to talk about how your businesses can be affected by resolutions, and why I think it's the best time of the year to start something new in your business if you have it on your mind. So, Doug,
I'm trying to be so long-winded about my resolutions.
Sorry, guys. It's all right. Tell us what you got, Doug.
No, I mean, mine are going to be simple. One of the biggest things I have a problem with is I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. So one of my big things with them is, they don't do something, and I'll try to talk to them softly, and then all of a sudden I start yelling at them. And I don't mean to. I mean, I'm not screaming at them, but I get really loud. So one of my resolutions is try to not even get loud with my kids.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because your blood pressure gets up and you get upset because your kids aren't listening to you. So just take a step back and just be a little more calm with them.
Now, are you and your wife on the same page about this one?
Oh yeah, she's. I mean, my wife is with childhood education, so or elementary education, understands all that, and so she's pretty good at that.
I've got a thing like my dad used to yell when I was a kid. Oh, my dad yelled. I could hear it in my back of my head right now, right? and so I get angry at myself when I yell at my kids, and I think, God, I don't want to do that. My dad did that to me all the time, so I stop yelling, and then my wife starts yelling. So
it's just they can really drive you crazy sometimes.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that's the reality of it.
So you're saying you understand shaken baby syndrome?
No,
Don't shake them.
But I think we all parents find themselves getting they yelling at their kids.
So my therapist says it's okay to talk loud.
Okay.
Which that's kind of what I do now.
To show authority.
But yeah, exactly. But I don't even want to do that. I want to be able to just talk to them and have them do what I ask. Let me know
if that works.
We'll see. We'll see. He gave me a couple tips to try to work on it, so we'll see if it works.
All right. What else do we have?
Cooking. I want to start cooking more this year. I hate cooking. I love eating. I'm a big eater, but I hate cooking, and I really want to learn how to cook a little bit more and be more helpful around the house. So.
That's awesome.
We'll see how that goes.
Rachel, you're listening, aren't you? I know Rachel's listening to this show.
No, none of our wives listen to the show anymore.
I know. I told her I'd talk nicely about her if she did.
And then this is kind of it coexists with business and myself personally. Is that like I said, it almost goes with what Ryan said. I get these emails or I get people that call me upset, and my first reaction is to kind of fire off something in quick defense. Or just in a I'll be politically correct about it, but I'll be in I'll be kind of mean about it. Because I've looked back at some of my emails to people and I go, man, this guy was actually nice. He handled the situation nicely, and I just ripped him a new one, And so I really don't want to do that. Like I want to just take some time and let myself think about it before I reply.
How much time?
I think half a day.
Half a day.
If I get the email in the morning, I respond after lunch. If I get it at lunch, I respond maybe the next day. So because I've noticed when I do take time and I think about it, my answers are much nicer.
And I'll give some advice to you guys. What Doug's saying is great. Take half a day if you can do that. But if you're one of those guys who just can't do it or is worried they're going to forget or something, at least go back and reread what you wrote. Because I find myself I try to be very immediate about things.
Yeah.
And I've responded exactly like you said, and I'll go back and read it.
So I now what I've done is I basically will get the email. I'll respond right away, but I leave it in my I leave it in my outbox.
That's a good one.
And then I go back, because I have that, the immediate. I'll be thinking about what I have to say right then and there.
Right.
So I write an email and I just don't send it.
That's
and
good.
then I go back 6 hours later and I reread it and I
You
change.
can kind of take some of the emotion out of it.
Exactly.
That's smart, dude.
Exactly.
That's smart.
Take the 4-letter words and the exclamation points. Go back from caps back to regular font.
Well, same thing with phone calls. I'll get a phone call from a customer that's XYZ, and I immediately am pissed about it. So I try not to call people back right away. I sometimes I'll even wait 24 hours to call them back.
That's not a bad. That's a good one. That's a good one for business, especially.
Yeah.
And in personal. You could use that one in your personal life as well. So any other ones, Doug?
Those are my main three.
That's good. That's good. That's no Ryan list. That's a good one.
I could go on, but we'd be another 2 more segments into it.
I know, and we've only got one more segment left. So, guys, the show is going so fast today. My personal resolutions, and look, this is going to sound very cliche. Same crap everybody else
You want to work out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's been clearly was on last year's list. So elliptical. Yeah, exercise. Okay, but I'm gonna tie this together though. Exercise. I want to change my schedule for more family time. I've been literally saying that for about a year and a half, but I have finally figured something out, and it's that in order to accomplish my first 2 resolutions, I have to accomplish my third one first, and that's changing my sleep habits. And you two guys have been good partners to me, and you've told me that you explain how you guys do it, because both of you guys, in general, go to sleep, I think, before me and wake up way before me. For sure. I'm not going to say what happened this morning. But anyway, so I figured it out that, you have to figure out what habit is preventing you from accomplishing your goal. And, like Ryan, maybe you were in a habit of taking things negatively sometimes. And you thought to yourself, man, if I change this, it's going to change this. And I was saying in the beginning of the show, I really truly believe if you change the first one, if you change the positively, the rest will come so much easier.
Right. Yeah.
And
I mean, that's something that we can all work on. Positivity.
Positivity is. I mean, it's. I say it's easy. I think it is easy. It's easy to smile.
It's your mindset.
Yeah. What's the old saying? It takes like 10 times the muscles to frown than it does to smile, or something like that. So I mean, that's a thought right there. But if you can change one habit in your life, that a lot of times can help you change the other habits. And that's where I'm thinking, if I can change my sleep habit, which Doug's recommendation is, if you go to bed late, he said, get your butt up early one day. Get up at 5 in the morning. Get up at 5:30 and work your normal day, which is going to end up being longer. Mm-hmm. And then what? I'm going to be tired.
You're going to be tired.
In the afternoon.
But I also know, I get up early, but what I realize is that I get so much more accomplished earlier in the morning because, you don't have your kids bothering you, you don't have your wife bothering you, you don't have all the distractions. So for 2 hours in the morning, I can get 4 or 5 hours worth of work done, and so that way you almost don't have to go to the office.
Yeah, so my issue is, but when I get to the office, it's the 9 o'clock hour. I'm in the heat of the day. Everything's hustling and bustling. I have no time to myself, and everything I had planned for the day gets pushed off most of the time till the next day, which isn't good. So we've talked about our personal resolutions. Let's talk about how this works in business. I know I, for one, I've had lots of changes happen in my business over the last year. Ryan, I know you've had a ton as well. We've had personnel changes. We both have changes in key employees, major key employees in our businesses, which have made both of us get back into the trenches. And when you're in the trenches, you learn things that you don't learn when you're riding on the horse in the cavalry.
Right.
Okay. You don't see what goes on day to day, and you don't realize that you need to make these changes. Well, I figured out these changes I had to make, and I started doing them. And you know how we've said in previous shows, there's never the right time to make a big change in business. This is the right time, right now.
Yeah.
If there ever was a right time, it's today. It's now. It's this week.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday. A lot of people are just now getting back to work today. This week, you got a couple days to ease in. Monday. Monday is my big day for my company. I'm instituting new compliance procedures, things that it's going to make people's heads spin. It's going to be a lot of extra work, a lot of paperwork, a lot of things they didn't have to do before for years, but it's a good time to do it. Why? Because I think everybody's mindset is about change right now.
Reset.
It's about the reset.
Yep.
Everybody in their personal lives is thinking reset. Great time to hit that switch in your business, right, guys?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So with me, I'm going to do the new compliance procedures. I've got a whole new processing system that we've put in place as not a program, but a manual that I wrote that we're going to start using. I'm changing the meeting schedule in my office, which is actually being affected by my personal life schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And then my feeling is if I can accomplish all this, it's going to lead to the more family time for me and allow me to change those sleep habits. And then maybe I'll lose the Santa Claus belly. You see how it's all together? It
is all together.
It does.
And now the other thing that you're going to really need to focus on is getting that process to where you can leave the office at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, or whatever time you decide to leave, and then not maybe turn the phone off, but not have to deal with every little thing that comes around too.
So you brought up something. Can you believe all three? None of us mentioned electronic time or unplugging or anything like that? Because I heard that's a big one this year.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
I do it naturally, so I don't really worry about it.
You do.
I don't have an electronic problem, so I don't have Facebook on my phone. I don't watch a lot of TV. I might watch a movie at night with my wife, but that's about it. I don't sit on my computer and
your phone
play my phone. No, never on my phone. I use my phone for making calls.
Right.
Yeah, about 20,000 minutes a month.
That's not much.
I'm on the phone all day.
All day.
Literally.
Got to unplug. So that's where I'm going with this, though, guys. Is this the right time to make the change in your business if you're going to do it? Another thing that we want to talk to you about is setting goals. Doug and I briefly discussed this this morning. It's about if you're going to make these changes. Let's say you don't have a major change that you have to make. Let's say you don't have to change personnel or any procedures. Everything's going well. This is the time to set goals.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, Doug, what are you telling me you do in your business? How do you set your goals? Quarterly, monthly, annually?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have. For me, I have monthly goals and I have yearly goals. I know you said quarterly, but I don't really focus on my quarters because I have such radical changes in my quarters.
Because in your business, you're booking out months.
Yeah, I mean, right now, we have 2-3 months booked, so it's not too big of a deal. But yeah, I look at what I want to accomplish the month I'm in, and then I look at what my yearly goals are.
Okay. And generally in your business, when you start a job, you're not taking a month to do a job either.
Sometimes,
right?
yeah.
Sometimes
that's one of the problems we're facing recently is that we have tile manufacturers that are telling us we have 8 to 12 weeks to get tile.
So what does that mean? You don't start until you have everything?
Well, no, I can't because you have customers that have leaks. They want their roof started. So I'll start a job. I ordered the tile 2-3 weeks ago. We'll dry it in. It'll sit for 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks till we get the tile in.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
so do you tarp them off?
No, it's dried in. I mean, meaning that when you do a tile roof, your underlayment's your roof.
Oh, I got you.
It's just decorative, so we can wait for the tile.
See, I didn't even know that.
Neither did I.
There you go.
Yeah, shingle roof is different. Shingles are your roof, whereas you have an underlayment, which is dry, and then you have your shingles. So it's just a different.
So
hey, there you go.
I want to go with what is a metal roof?
Metal roof is your roof as well. So you can dry it in. It can sit dried in, and then you put the metal on.
Oh, so the metal doesn't hold the water back?
Well, metal is a roof, of course, but
I thought you said you dry it in. That's the underlayment.
Yeah, and then you put the metal over top of the underlayment.
So the underlayment again is what keeps the water out.
Correct.
You guys heard it here on the Business Happy Hour. The underlayment is your roof. So next time you get a roof, call Doug and tell him I just want underlayment. You're listening to the Business Happy Hour on 970 and 1250. Stay tuned. In the next segment, we're going to give you guys the business tip of the week, and I promise you it's a big one and it's a personal one. We're going to talk about it right here. Stay tuned. Have all the rain and storms this year left your roof unprotected? Do you need an honest, reliable, and trustworthy roofing company? Call Suncoast Roofing Solutions today at 813-283-2544 for a free evaluation and no obligation estimate. You'll appreciate their personalized solutions and no-pressure consultants. You can find Suncoast Roofing Solutions on the web at suncoastroofingsolutions.com, where honesty, integrity, and craftsmanship come first.
Hello, it's Ryan Pelky with TampaBay Plumbers, and I want to tell you about our drain cleaning services. We always include a video inspection with our drain cleaning service, and that's because it's the most important part of the job. Imagine going to the doctor and only being treated for your symptoms. Proper diagnostic will save you time and money when it comes to plumbing or just about anything else. We are the straightforward company and never bait and switch like our competitors make a living on. Call 813-PLUMBER. That's 813-PLUMBER for all your drain cleaning needs.
Hey, Tampa Bay, this is your friendly neighborhood Frank Coto, owner of Lincoln Lending Group and 813mortgage.com, your home of the no-fee mortgage and the 4-minute application on 813mortgage.com. I have some really incredible news for you. Real estate investors of Tampa, listen up. We now have a no-income product with just 20% down and a 660 credit score. No income, no employment, investment loans. Buy as many homes as you want. Apply now, 813mortgage.com, your no-fee mortgage lender.
Have all the rain and storms this year left your roof unprotected? Do you need an honest, reliable, and trustworthy roofing company? Call Suncoast Roofing Solutions today at 813-283-2544 for a free evaluation and no obligation estimate. You'll appreciate their personalized solutions and no-pressure consultants. You can find Suncoast Roofing Solutions on the web at suncoastroofingsolutions.com, where honesty, integrity, and craftsmanship come first.
Pros in the know start with Lowe's, because Lowe's makes it easy for pros to save on the supplies they need. Save on your next kitchen or bathroom job with 40% off select American Olean tile and enhance the look of any popper. Plus, you can save time by ordering what you need at lowesforpros.com and pick up your order in-store. So, pro, now that you know, start with Lowe's. Offer valid through February 9th, 2019, while supplies last, U.S. only.
In an era when it's tough to know which news outlets to trust, there's an alternative which gives you the information about the topics you're interested in. It's the Katz Roundtable with John Katzimatidis. From politics to pop culture, senators to media personalities, John Katzimatidis gets to the heart of what's really going on in politics, business, science, the world. Hear it all on the Katz Roundtable, debuting this Sunday morning at 9 on Tampa Bay's Impact Radio, 1250 WHNZ.
Learn how to better manage your finances. Hi, I'm Robert Maggie, founder of Maggie Tax Advisory and Financial Group. Through our alliance with the nonprofit organization Financial Education Partnership, we are offering free one-day workshops to help individuals become more fiscally fit. The workshops are free and are not sales events. To learn more about our free workshop, visit MaggieTax.com, click on the free workshop link, and register today. Call 727-220-5634. Again, 727-220-5634 or visit MaggieTax.com.
Schmidt here. I've got Gordon Deal with me. You hear him mornings on 1250 WHNZ. Gordon, why start the day with you?
Schmidt, you keep everyone connected minute by minute to breaking news in the afternoon. On This Morning, we set the stage for the day ahead and look at the trends that affect finances and careers, the things we'll all be talking about tomorrow and next year.
Drive home with me, drive to work with Gordon Deal, and this morning, America's First News, 5 to 7 a.m. right here on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
You're listening to the Business Happy Hour with Frank Coto, Ryan Pelky, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
Hey, guys, welcome back to the show. Hope you're having a good time today. I know we are. The show is going extremely fast. And don't forget, if you guys want to call into the show, you can call in anytime. This is a live show. The number you're going to call, which I was looking for back here in my phone while we were talking here, was 877-897-8255. 877-897-8255 if you guys want to chime in.
So my wife just texted me and said, I'm listening. Thank you very much.
All right. Hey,
I guess Rachel and Nicole aren't.
We're one for three.
Hey, thanks, baby.
Three.
I love you. Appreciate you listening.
See, that was very nice of you. All right, so guys, we talked about this in the first segment just for a minute. Holiday schedules this year was extra interesting, and I think I kind of like it better than when it falls on the weekend because at least you get a little vacation. But for business, it puts you in turmoil, especially being in the banking world, because people don't know if the banks are open or if we're open.
We pretty much took 2 weeks off.
Yeah, I mean, that's
2 weeks of not making money, but I still got bills I got to pay.
You still have bills you got to pay. So, and I want to don't let me forget to bring that up in the business tip of the week about bills you got to pay and how do you do it when you have those days off of work.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so Christmas and New Year's Day were both on the 2nd. Pretty much everyone took off the eve. Most people who could took off the eves. A lot of people took off a half day on Friday. So it was crazy.
So this year's going to be even worse. Like you said,
Yeah.
Christmas is on the 25th, which is a Wednesday, and New Year's is on the 31st, which
It's
is a
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Right. No, New Year's is on
Tuesday.
the 1st is on a Wednesday though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. It's like,
So what's going to happen? Do you take the 2 days before off? Do you take the 2 days after off?
What's inevitable is that it ruins that week of productivity.
Absolutely, it does.
You just need to plan for it.
So, and here's my thing about planning for business owners. It's all about setting the expectations.
Right.
And as hard as I tried to do it with all of our customers, it just didn't work. I mean, people were calling on New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve, asking if things were getting done. I'm like, guys, listen, even though we have half staff in the office, it doesn't mean the other companies do. What do you do when literally half of America either takes vacation or the
That's
company
the
gives them
problem.
vacation?
If you're one of the few businesses that are open and providing services, the other ones aren't.
Right.
So all the demand is through the roof, and your supply.
So you guys are working, yet you have to go to Ferguson to pick up a part, and
Ferguson's
Ferguson gave their
closed.
days off.
Well, yeah, they had some time off, but the biggest issue was just my lack of labor. I had
Right.
4 guys on vacation, and then half the other guys don't want to work. They want to be at home with their families, and I
Sure.
get it.
Sure.
I wanted to be at home with my family.
That's what I'm saying.
But
you were working on New Year's Eve all day long.
I worked until like 6 o'clock.
I was like, where's this guy? He's not even
Yeah.
home yet. So holiday schedule's crazy this year. Next year, the best thing I can tell you is just prepare for it, plan for it, notify your customers. And if you find out all the people you work with are not going to be at work, then maybe it makes more sense for you guys to set the expectations that you're not going to be there and make those catch-up days. Catch-up days are nice.
Yeah. See, I mean, in emergency plumbing, it's tough because you want to be available for your at least your repeat commercial customers that are having property damage.
Right.
So I always have guys on working, always, 24/7, 365.
Well, you guys got to be busy. People having parties.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
when things go wrong.
It's just I had to turn down probably 100 service calls over the last 2 weeks, literally 100 service calls.
wow. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot of money, but it was a lot of dumb things, like install a dishwasher. It's not an emergency.
Yeah.
Install a garbage disposal. Not an emergency.
But I'm having 100 people over. Yeah.
But you could probably make good money doing it.
I mean, you can. I mean, it's just you just don't have to.
You don't have the
You just don't have the personnel to do
Yeah.
it. I've got USAA, with 6,000 employees at their store, one location.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's an emergency.
That's when they've got a water leak there. That's an emergency.
When that one backs up, you better get over there.
Yeah. So
I got 2 questions. The one that came in over Facebook, and that is, I cannot communicate properly with my boss. He does not respond when I try to get a hold of him. How do you deal with that?
Wow. He doesn't respond when you try to get a hold of him.
Yes.
I mean, do you work in the office with your boss?
Yes, she does.
Okay, so here's and I've had this problem with my employees before, just with inter-office communication. Sometimes the employees will just send an email, okay, yet they're working in the same 2,000 square foot office.
Mm-hmm.
So I always tell my employees, don't ever come to me and tell me that somebody didn't do something and all you did was send an email and you're working 3 doors down.
Yeah.
It's still they think, oh, I sent the email, it's their responsibility. No, it's both of your responsibility, and if it's your project, then you need to go down and verbalize that request.
You know what I've noticed works good too for my certain employees, and she can try this for her employer, is have different page of different color paper for certain people, like a yellow sheet for my accounting lady for pay changes or anything like that. So it's like
it sticks out.
It's a noticeable thing.
Yeah.
And they know, wow, okay, this is important enough for this person to actually go through the trouble
Good
of
idea.
printing that out on a
That's
different
good.
color piece of paper.
We use different
mean,
color folders in our office. Now for
Let
this
Ryan
girl,
read it real quick, and that's the problem she had, that her boss came in and ignored her. The other question is there's certain loan companies that are running ads on Facebook and social media. Should you make your decision on a loan because of what's in that ad?
oh God, tell you what, we got to do the business tip. Then let me answer that one because I don't want to lose the business tip. Doug, we have a great business tip of the week this week, and it's all about insurance.
Yeah, pretty much making sure that you have the proper insurance. I mean, I'm dealing with something right now that, I'm a 40-year-old male that I just had both my hips operated on. non-weight bearing for 6 to 8 weeks. Can't return to do anything normal for almost 3 to 4 months.
Can't get on a roof.
Can't get on a roof. Even though I do have salespeople,
Can't go bid jobs.
I still can't. I like to bid my personal referral, so I'll go on the roof. I handle everything, and I can no longer do that.
God, bro.
So I'm relying on my sales guy. Even though he's good, he's not me.
And there's insurance for this?
Yeah. So I have overhead disability, and I have disability insurance.
Now tell people real quick, what does disability do? It pays your bills for you when you're disabled?
So you have a set dollar amount. So depending on what you make, it's a set dollar amount.
Right. Okay.
So,
and the overhead, though, is above and beyond that.
Yes.
That it helps pay other things, other living expenses that you have to go through.
As a business owner, they're kind of one and the same.
Right.
Your payment, your overhead is just a payment you make, so you've revenue coming in to support that.
The key to this is disability, guys. You never know what's going to happen. Doug's only a 40-year-old, and he's double hip surgery he had. And if it wasn't for disability, he would be taking a major hit, spending his savings right now.
Yep.
And here at the Business Happy Hour, we like you to save, pay off debt, become debt-free, and don't spend that when you don't have to. So if you don't have disability insurance and you own a business especially, your family relies on you, look into disability insurance and ask them about overhead disability insurance. I don't even have overhead, so I'm going to look into that.
I don't have overhead or disability. I've found that they're expensive in the past.
They're definitely expensive.
But it is important. You take it for granted, your health sometimes.
And here's a guy right here in the studio with us, one of our partners. So I'm going to check into it. Guys, thanks for listening to the Business Happy Hour. I know the listener had a question. I will get to that one for you next week and respond on Facebook. But the bottom line is, don't look at an ad. Make sure you call somebody and talk to them. Business Happy Hour is out. Oh, don't forget Greenacre next week. Jeff Greenacre on the Business Happy Hour.
The proceeding was a paid program paid for by Lincoln.